Superman versus Grand Regent Thragg, two of the toughest and most powerful characters in comics. Thragg is the strongest Viltrumite that the Invincible universe has to offer. But here, as he's set to fight against Superman, well, really, is the fight even close? Let's get into it. Grand Regent Thragg, the strongest and most powerful of all the Viltrumites. But just how powerful is he? Well, that's what we're going to get into. From birth, Thragg was bred to be the strongest Viltrumite ever, having been trained in every single form of combat and way to kill. When the Viltrum Empire was plunged into a civil war, well, Thragg got the chance to prove himself, leading his army to restore Viltrum and form it into an unstoppable race of the most powerful warriors in the universe. Ruthless, powerful, and intelligent, Grand Regent Thragg ruled the Empire for thousands of years, until Invincible and Omni-Man finally questioned his rule and stood up to him. That's when the true battle began. So for starters, well, why are the Viltrumites so stinking powerful? Well, it's because they have access to smart atoms, molecularly the same as normal atoms, but they give access to all sorts of powers on the atomic level. And Viltrumites are unique because they can use smart atoms for a whole lot of different powers: super strength, super speed, flight, and they're the only race in the universe to have smart atoms literally encoded inside their DNA. That's what makes them so powerful. And just how powerful are they? Well, with super strength, most higher tier Viltrumites are in a class all their own. Like Conquest, we can casually bust out of a solid 400-ton solid steel block encased all around his body, as well as 6 miles of earth caving in on top of him. During his fight against Invincible, while Omni-Man was punching Mark so hard that he was shaking entire mountains and doing this repeatedly. In fact, he was sending Mark flying all over the planet and causing earthquakes each time that he landed. There have been plenty of instances where people have said that Viltrumites are able to destroy worlds, even physically tear them apart with their bare hands. And you know what? Well, we've actually seen that. Omni-Man, Invincible, and Thaddeus all teamed up to destroy the planet Viltrum, which is roughly twice the size of Earth. They busted it apart just by flying straight through it. So yeah, the higher tier Viltrumites are incredibly powerful. And then there's Thragg, who has routinely shown the strength and power to overpower these higher tier Viltrumites and legit rip them apart. He ripped Thaddeus' head clean off. He tore off Oliver's arm and killed him with just one punch. He managed to overpower both Invincible and Omni-Man at the same time. He's torn Omni-Man in half before. He's even torn Invincible in half too. Nothing is stopping Thragg here. He's easily the most powerful Viltrumite. And you know what? Thragg has been able to dominate pretty much everyone in the Invincible universe, not just Viltrumites. So he's really not just the strongest Viltrumite, but just the strongest character out there, period. Like there's Dinosaurus. While he might not seem that impressive, he is a guy who's able to easily match up against and overpower Invincible. Thragg quickly dominated him and killed him. Then there's his fight with Battle Beast, a guy who's the most formidable warrior in the universe and can kill Viltrumites like it's nothing. And Thragg was still able to fight him for 4 days straight and ultimately do him in. Yes, Thragg is the strongest character in Invincible, until Mark finally came into his own at the very, very end of the series. But it's not just strength. Thragg is easily the toughest and most durable character in the universe too. I mean, in some of Invincible's first fights against Thragg, Invincible hit him with his best shots, and Thragg was literally able to just shrug them off. The most that Mark was able to do was just give him a nosebleed. And actually, he was able to take attacks from Invincible and Omni-Man at the same time. It basically did nothing. In fact, Omni-Man was never really able to injure Thragg at all, especially in comparison to just how much Thragg was able to mess him up. Even in his final fight against Invincible, while Thragg and Invincible legit fought in the sun for 23 pages straight in the comic. They were in the sun, up to 2 million degrees Fahrenheit. And while Thragg did finally burn up, it's incredibly impressive that he was able to survive for just as long as he did. And it's not just against Invincible or other Viltrumites either. Like Dinosaurus, he was able to tear apart Invincible clones with his claws and bite off Omnipotus's head. Omnipotus is an all-powerful villain who possesses almost limitless cosmic powers. He's even claimed to have destroyed whole solar systems before. But yet, when Dinosaurus tried to fight and injure Thragg, well, his claws broke off on his chest and his teeth shattered around his head. Then his fight with Battle Beast. Before the fight even began, Thragg was ambushed by Ragnars, leaving him disemboweled and bitten apart. And yet, immediately after that, Thragg began his fight against Battle Beast. And that fight went on for days. And even with Thragg being ripped open, losing an eye, having his skull torn into, being punched so hard that he was destroying cities upon impact. Through all of it, through all those injuries and everything, Thragg still won and ended the fight by literally ripping out Battle Beast's insides. And even after a fight like that, well, it took Thragg just a week to recover. Yes, healing is just that great and that fast. Then lastly, speed. And all Viltrumites are able to ignore gravity and move around at faster than light speed, as they're actually able to bypass the speed of light altogether by subspace jumping their atoms. And Thragg can definitely do this, move at faster than light speeds, like he's been able to catch up with a ship moving faster than light across the universe, catch up to it, react to it, and then bull rush straight through it. A clear, faster than light reaction and attack feat. Thragg is able to blitz Thaddeus, Omni-Man, and Alan the Alien all at the same time. He's faster than Invincible at his best, and is faster than Omni-Man too, able to casually react to him throughout fights and catch him off guard. At the end of the day, Thragg and the Viltrumites are at the very least planetary level, meaning they can destroy planets. We've seen that happen. And as for Thragg himself, well, he's the most powerful out of all of them. No one can stand up to him alone. No one can stop him. He truly is the best of the best out of this race of alien warriors and killers. The guy is just built different. And then there's Superman. And just one look at him and he's going to quickly show you why this has never even been close. Now, Superman is clearly no stranger to moving and lifting around planets. I mean, he's moved just the Earth almost more times than I can remember. He's pulled the Earth back into orbit along with Green Lantern. He's pulled the Earth alongside both Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter. He's pulled the moon before, and just regularly pulled off planetary level feats. But you want to take that, make it even more impressive? Well, what about the time where Superman bench pressed the whole weight of the Earth for 5 days straight? Only barely broke a sweat. Wasn't even tired from it. That is just crazy. The fact that that is nowhere near his max rep. You just can't even begin to argue strength here. The best you can argue for Thragg is that he could maybe, possibly move a small planet by himself. Superman can do stuff like that in his sleep. It's not even close to being close. But what about durability with the Man of Steel? Well, actually, look at Thragg first. The best that Thragg can do is fight in the sun and take attacks from Battle Beast or Omni-Man. I would argue those guys are moon level or small planet level at best. Again, going back to the fact it took 3 Viltrumites to destroy a large planet. And then of course he actually ended up surviving the destruction of Viltrum 2 and the resulting explosion. Well, here, let me ask you this. Have you ever heard about the time when Hawkman hit Superman with the Claw of Horus, which according to Hawkman draws its power from the magnetic core of the Earth, meaning he was essentially hitting Superman with the planet itself? That's definitely more impressive. He's also been right there when 2 planets collided into each other, Apocalypse and New Genesis respectively. That matters because both of those planets are actually way bigger than the Earth. The only area where they are kinda close is speed. Both of them are able to move much faster than the speed of light. But considering that Thragg is fighting against someone who's way stronger and way tougher, well, being equal in speed isn't really gonna do much. Besides allow Thragg to process in real time that he's getting the ever-loving crap beaten out of him, and that none of his attacks are doing anything in return. Then of course, there's also Superman's heat vision and his freeze breath, which is always significantly more powerful than people think. I mean, he's been able to pretty easily wreck people with his heat vision before in the past. He's even effectively vaporized Doomsday in his tracks, and that heat vision is constantly compared to the heat and temperature of the sun. Meanwhile, with his freeze breath, what's allowed him to create essentially hurricanes before. Basically, Superman is no joke. Whatever way you want to swing it, he is more powerful than Thragg, by like a magnitude of 10. The greatest feats that Thragg has pulled off are absolutely bodying the likes of Omni-Man, Invincible, and Thaddeus. And yeah, in that universe, that is very impressive. But it's absolutely nothing compared to Superman. He's pulling off planetary level feats all by himself. Superman is infinitely more durable, surviving solar system level attacks. He's also faster, and he's also no stranger to fighting against people of his own power set. General Zod, Ultraman, Shazam, Bizarro. Thragg is nothing new to Clark, and he's not even the most powerful foe that he's faced. Superman would dominate this fight, and it's not even close. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.